for the first time ever in their season with a win.
And Ohio State underway as Camille has the ball for the Buckeyes, and Jack Myers gets into the box.
Here in Columbus.
Tied in 5th place for Jack Myers with the former All-American Trey LeClaire, Blanchard, and the Vikings fighting for the faceoff right now. You have Zupicic in there on the wing, and Ohio State wins it with Trent DeChico coming up with the ground ball. There's Jack Myers once again. We're less than 5 minutes into the game, and Ohio State up 2-0. Thanks to a goal from Connor Mitchell. Mitchell, the senior midfielder. Interference from Ohio State, so Cleveland State will get the possession now. Zwagerman has a sophomore midfielder from Georgia. He was on the all-freshman team last year for the conference. 5 goals and 6 assists in his time. Now he gets on the board in his first game of the season. Cleveland State wins the faceoff. Nice job there from Charlie Williams, his first faceoff of the day.
On the opening couple of minutes in Columbus.
Kyle Borda, the graduate transfer from Fairfield, 22 goals and 21 assists in his time in Connecticut. Blanchard wins the faceoff, but an interference called against Charlie Williams. So Zupicic goes. Now we go back to the faceoff between the specialists. Blanchard and Charlie Williams fighting it out. And an easy faceoff win is Connor Samuel picks it up and brings it into the restraining box. Timeout called against Ohio State.
Up play from the Buckeyes there. They were knocking the last possession. And off the quick turnover, Ohio State gets that 5th goal.
Great job by Ohio State, able to wind down the time and keep possession. Blanchard wins the faceoff. And a nice check there as a delayed penalty will be coming up. Sigurdsson start the second quarter. Ohio State, their offense has been well, but it's been starting in the faceoff X as Drew Blanchard looks to win another faceoff. And a nice scrum right now. A couple players on the ground. Blanchard wins the faceoff. He's been excellent today, Cole.
Make that 6 for 8 on the day. Last week he won 22 of 26. That's the 3rd most for an Ohio State player since 2003.
And a penalty will be called against Ohio State. Looks to be Marcus Hudgens, the freshman from Lovejoy, Texas. And a different faceoff specialist for the Buckeyes now, Matthew Fritz, gets involved. As Coach Myers talked about, wanting to get a couple guys in the faceoff room involved as much as possible, including him, James Hogan, and then there's Drew Blanchard.
Yeah, of course.
Play some of their best lacrosse against some of the best players in the country.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. This team, as you mentioned, their inaugural season back in 2017, and of course, this is the 2nd time in the ASUN competing in conference play last year. Didn't get a win in conference play, but you talk about playing a top-ranked Ohio State, which they've done every year since they have started.
Shot and a goal! Cleveland State right on cue, Cole. Evan Moskwa, the face-off junior from Michigan. Nice shot and a nice goal gets Cleveland State back on the board.
And the Vikings were quiet. Vikings use could help boost start this game.
Moskwa back in the faceoff X against Matthew Fritz for Ohio State. Moskwa kicks it around. Good job by the wing player for Ohio State. And Colin Brown to pick up the ground ball. Buckeyes have possession. Myers looks around. He's got Connor Mitchell on the field. Here comes Mitchell Pelkey, the senior attackman from Maryland. Shot and a goal. Coming around on the outside of X is Kyle Lewis, the midfielder. In his career, 73 goals, 131 assists in his time with Lynchburg. Now comes over to give Ohio State another offensive threat. Moskwa wins the faceoff for the Vikings. Also, Moskwa so far, he didn't start the game for Cleveland State, but he's come in, he's won a couple
takes, and then attacking and making the most of it.
Ed Sheen, one of Nick Meyer's favorite players, got him all the way out from California. Not many Californians on this team. As Coach Myers talked about, his swagger is one of the things he loves about him, but he also brings the confidence at the same time. Dylan McGee. The young guys making an impact here, Cole. That's a big deal in the lacrosse world when your young guys are getting involved right away. Hogan loses the faceoff to Cleveland State. He lost it to Charlie Williams.
And again, speaking of those young guys,
James Hogan will take the faceoff for Ohio State, his second of the day from Ridgewood, New Jersey. However, Robbie Stewart, faceoff specialist for Cleveland
of the season.
Matthew Fritz back in the faceoff X for the Buckeyes. Both teams are released now, but no team has possession yet. And Jake Snyder picks up the ground ball, gets it back to his goalie, Walland.
Make sure that they continue their dominance.
Pelkey's first goal of the season. With 11:51 remaining in the second quarter, this Ohio State offense, you just said it, they're so quick and they continue to score. And they get another face-off win. I might have said too early, but they do get the face-off win. DeChico has to back up. Cleveland State has now been released. They can pressure DeChico. And they're shown why they deserve to be ranked one of the top in the nation. You have to assume maybe after this week, they can move up into the top 10, Cole.
Yeah, definitely so. Win last week against Air Force.
We almost had a change in net at first. It looked like Oren Gellenass was going to check into the game, but Skylar Wallen sticks in the net. Matthew Fritz in the faceoff X. Good job by Cleveland State to win possession. We haven't seen much of that this second half.
Yeah, it's been a slow start, you mentioned, for the Vikings.
We'll battle it out for the faceoff now, the specialist. That was Gannon Matthews with the goal, his first of the season. Austin's first assist of the season as well.
Lewis's third assist of the season. Ohio State, once again, just in that dominant stance we've seen stemming from last week with Air Force.
Cameron Logan will bring up the ball slow.
Their 33 shots.
Nielsen's first goal of the season for the Buckeyes. And Ed Sheen. What a great teammate to find Nielsen right in front of the doorstep for the goal.
Sheen's got 6 points today as well, making his mark for sure here in this game.
Moskwa's pass was intended for Brendan Gerson, is intercepted in Ohio State. But what does Ohio State need to do in order to be successful in trying to go 3-0? Because that's the goal against those three teams.
Yeah, it's simply about the confidence. You know the talent that Ohio State has to offer is among one of the best in the nation. Clearly, as it's shown today, showed last week against Air Force. They're number 11 for a reason. And this is exactly what Nick Myers wanted. He wanted these tough schedules. He wanted
right on the dot. Cleveland State wins the faceoff. Evan Moskwa with another faceoff win for the Vikings. Whalen ended the day, 6 goals allowed and 6 saves. Pretty solid day from Skylar.
Yeah, Wallen is just a great job back there in between. But now coming in, we saw Gallegos get warmed up in that between the third period, and we were wondering if he was going to get his time in. But Nick Myers finally pulling the trigger, and why not? And of the season, just a beautiful shot by Sandberg.
The British Columbia native zipped that past. A new goalie as well for Cleveland State and Connor Kern. Pelkey, second goal of the game and second goal of the season. Ohio State playing like a well-rounded, oiled machine. And a push going against Ohio State. So Cleveland State's Gannon Matthews will start with the ball. There's Matthews right now. Ohio State 2 goals in this quarter. Cleveland State only won. Right now,
and just another reason this Cleveland State offense has been relying on him today and will look to rely on him in conference play come the rest of the season.
Cleveland State gets the face-off win. Now, they have 15 face-off wins compared to Ohio State's 14, so Cleveland State has done a nice job in the goal. Good job, Michael Kerr. Slips it right past Galinas. 6:37 remaining here at Ohio State Lacrosse Stadium. We're next to the Jennings Wrestling Facility in the Ty Tucker Tennis Center. For people looking to line a lot of fresh new faces, Ohio State did beat them in Chapel Hill last season. Can the Buckeyes beat them in their home field? Both teams fighting right now. Still a man-up situation for the Buckeyes. Excuse me, that's no longer after the... Hayden Kenley picks up his first goal of the season and of the game. And a face-off win.
In South Bend, going against Notre Dame. This is the great way to help build a program. Again, the team who just started their inaugural season in 2017, 5 years along the way to see where they have come now. And they're taking on and competing with a top-ranked Ohio State squad.
Here come the Buckeyes going quick. Nielsen, and a nice shot there from Begonia. But